Allison, tell me a little bit about working with M3GAN.
I'm not gonna say too much because I don't wanna like spoil who M3GAN is and how she comes to be, because I think it's the most fun if you just are in the theater and you're like, oh, that's just M3GAN. That said, it was fascinating. I learned a lot. I think we all did. It was very challenging, multifaceted approach. I think it took teamwork from like every single corner of our crew. That said, it was something I will never forget and an experience that I doubt I will ever have again, anything remotely like it, because it was such a hybrid kind of endeavor.
Was it creepy?
Yes. The creepier moments, I think, were the ones where we weren't actually shooting. So like between cut and the next action, either while we were doing a scene together or even just during a break when she was not working. Very eerie. Just because I think she's so alive to me, like she seems so real, that even when she's not talking or doing anything, it's so easy to just project that onto her, to imagine that she's just gonna strike up a conversation with you. And that element of it added a real sense of like eeriness to being around her. Deeply eerie, I guess.
Did she ever talk to you during those breaks?
If I said yes, your next call should be to someone who's going to take good, loving care of me and make sure I'm okay. No, she never did. I'm happy to report I have most of my marbles still.
You were an executive producer on this. What did that entail for you? How did you juggle that with being an actor on this?
I really loved it. It was my first time officially being an executive producer on a movie I've worked on. I have always been super involved in the things that I work on. It's just sort of my nature. I'm type A, what can I say? So like from the script to even the edit of the movie to the way it's promoted and all of it, I like to be involved in all of it. I find it fascinating. And so with this one, I just officially got to be on the email distributions of like, we're trying to clear these toys for Gemma's shelf, and like, we can't get any toys from this company, but these are stuck in customs in Japan and we can't get them out. You know, I like loved knowing all of that. At lunch every day we had a production meeting, and so I'd be Gemma for like, 10 hours, and then we'd break for lunch and I'd be the executive producer, and we'd talk about like the rest of the day and the schedule going forward and stuff, and how we're gonna achieve all of this stuff, or like such and such actor can't come in anymore, we have to recap, whatever, the logistics, and then go back into being Gemma. I loved it all, and I'm loving the experience of like promoting it and delivering M3GAN to the world and the marketing, and I'm not in charge of any of it. The great joy is being able to work with people who are, and learn from all of the experts and like the geniuses who come up with these trailers and who come up with the marketing campaigns. It's just so much fun. I found that it like deepened my experience as an actor, because it allowed my investment to be like as deep as I always want it to be. I was able to just feel like I had kind of a 360 point of view on what was going on.
Do you plan on producing more?
Yes, I would love to. It's going to be hard to go back. I'm currently shooting something where I'm not producing it, and it's so hard to not be like wanting to know everything that's going on. And it's just an instinct that I have. I don't know, maybe from being like doing jobs on sets when I was growing up, like PA and stuff like that. I like just knowing what's happening, and when I get to officially know what's happening, it definitely makes me less sheepish about asking those questions. I feel like I'm entitled to the answer.
Yeah, instead of just like sneaking around.
Yeah, exactly. But it's also, the stuff I want to know is so unsexy. It's just like logistical information about how the shoot's going, and I'm just like titillated by it. I'm like, what does this do to our board? Are we gonna have to add days? Everyone's like, oh my God, if I were responsible for paying for it, these things would be terrifying, but it's just interesting from my POV.